Our country is very divided. And so a question I've been wrestling with is, why is that the case? Why is this the case? And I'm sure there's a lot of things that can be said about that. But one thing that I have been thinking about is the fact that nobody thinks they're wrong. All of us, to some degree, are acting out of some form of ignorance. I mean, we are not all knowing. We're not infinite in our ability to make sense of things. We can only speak from where we are. We are the sum of our experiences. I don't know if any person that is not mentally ill is waking up thinking, how can I ruin my life and the lives of everyone around me? I don't think anyone is asking that question because I think that people are generally trying to do the best that they can. We are seeking goodness. We're seeking fulfillment. We're seeking some type of contentment. We want to be okay with our lives. And we think getting this or this happening or doing this or treating people this way will get that. That is us acting out of ignorance, but also like trying our best. I mean, we want to be healthy. We want to be good. I think human beings want similar things. We want to be alive and we want the people around us to be alive. And of course, this is generally speaking. There are always exceptions to what I'm saying. But I think generally we want to be okay. We want a sense of well-being. And so we chase these things that we think will give us these things. We treat people a certain way because we think that maybe subconsciously this will allow us to have a sense of well-being. We have primitive instincts within us to look for a threat. And if we don't find a immediate threat, we might conceptualize a threat or imagine what a threat might be. And we try to attack that threat. That's kind of what we do. We want to survive. A lot of our instincts are still very much primitive in nature. Maybe my enemy is not my enemy. Maybe my enemy is just someone that has a different perspective. Maybe my enemy is doing the best they can. Maybe my enemy doesn't think they are wrong. Maybe my enemy thinks that I am wrong. And I think it takes some humility. It takes some patience and empathy to be able to recognize some of these things. I don't know what it's like to live your life. I don't know what it's like to be in your body and to have your thoughts. I don't know what you've gone through. I don't know what it was like to have your parents and to have your job and to have your spouse or to live in your area code. I only know what it's like to be right here in this body. And even that, like, there's only so much that I'm able to experience in my own body because if you notice, as you live and you go about your day, think about all the things you are missing in your own life. Like think about all the things that you are just because you got something else in your mind as you're driving. So you don't even recognize the trees that you're driving past or what it looks like outside or the birds because you got the music loud. I mean, you're in your own world. And I mean, I'm not knocking that, but what I'm trying to say is even the life that we have, even the life that we live, we miss so much. We don't even see all of reality where we are. So imagine trying to be in someone else's shoes. Like we have no idea. I think that's always the best place to be. Like I have no idea what it's like to be this individual. And I would imagine if I'm trying to be fair with humanity, I think I would imagine that every person is trying their best and they don't think they're wrong. So maybe the role that I can play is recognizing that I need people more than I think, and that I need people to broaden my perspective, to help me see what I can't see. And maybe I don't have to have people as threats. Does that make sense? People don't have to be a threat to me. And I'm speaking generally again, like if someone's coming at you with a gun or a knife, I mean, there's a different way you have to approach this idea. But generally, on the internet, people are not a threat to me. And in the comment section, people are not a threat to me. On Facebook, people are not a threat to me. But my mind and my body and my primitive instinct still feels that. And so I have to be mindful of that. And I have to be reminded that people are coming from where they are because they have their lives. And so what I want to do as I try to make sure that I'm not trying to be divisive or trying to draw humanity further apart. I think I want to try to understand myself more deeply and understand the people around me more deeply, maybe understand the people that I disagree with more deeply, and try to recognize their humanity. Look at them long enough to see that they are just like me and they're trying to figure out just like me. Maybe that can deepen my compassion, that can deepen my understanding, that can deepen my willingness to love them and pray for them. And when I pray for them, I don't pray that they change their mind to think like I think, because that's impossible. What I pray for is for my own heart to soften and to welcome them and to accept them despite things that I don't understand. I think a great example of this, I've been reading through King's Dr. Martin Luther King's biography. It's been a bedside book. It's about 500 pages, so I'm about halfway through. But it's been really great to read about his life and to recognize his humanity. I mean, you get to read a lot of like human details about him, like the fact that he was smoking regularly. He was a regular cigarette smoker. He was caught up in a lot of extramarital activities. He plagiarized quite a few times. I mean, I knew about some of these things, but I mean, just to know about that, I think it's important to know that someone that I revere and respect in a lot of ways is also very human still. And that doesn't take away from the good that he was able to contribute to society, because there are skeletons in everyone's closet. But what I'm trying to say with that is there's just something that happens when we're able to sit with someone's story and to allow their story to shape our story and learn from their mistakes and engage in a dialogue and adapt some of their humanity. And the truth is, I can do this with every person that's around me. It takes work, it takes patience. But I'm interested in people's stories. I want to know why people do the things that they do and think that they would and think the way that they think. And as I read their stories, it also helps me make sense of my own story. So I think that is one of the ways that we can address this division within our country. Be curious about the people around us. Be curious about the people on the internet. And of course, you are limited in your ability to do this. So you can't understand every person on the planet. You just can't. I mean, you don't have the resources and the time to do that. But there are people around you that you engage with on a regular basis that you can. You can go out of your way to understand them more and to keep your ego at bay, to keep what you think is wrong or right at bay, because in a lot of ways, that doesn't really matter. Okay, you can have your convictions and your thoughts. It doesn't have to jeopardize your connection to this human being. I think at the end of the day, connection and relationship should be prioritized over what I think is wrong or right. And that's where I'm at on this subject. And of course, you are able to think differently on that, but that's where I am. I want to be open to people, especially people around me, and I want to trust that there's something that everybody can teach me. I've been telling my wife this recently, and even myself this. Well, myself first, but also my wife, that the person that is like quote unquote an enemy in our lives, whoever that might be, or the problems that we might see in our lives, I think those are our greatest teachers. My enemy is my greatest teacher. And what I mean by that, there's a reason why I am repulsed by certain people, and I'm certainly like okay with other people. There's a reason for that. And there might be something that I can learn as I give attention to that. Like, why does this person irk me so much? And what can this teach me about like letting go? And this is a spiritual thing just for me. Like, I don't have to tell people about this. I don't have to talk about it. I can wrestle with it. I can struggle to do it. But I think the problems that I am able to see and the enemies that I have are trying to teach me something. And that's how I'm trying to approach these things lately, and just trusting that these things can serve a purpose. Not that they have to, not that they are designed to. I don't know if I want to say that, but I think that they can serve a purpose if we're willing to allow them to. So that's what I'm going to continue to try to do. And these are some of the things that I'm trying to do to help me unite myself to people instead of wanting to cut everybody off. Because I'm not going to lie, the past month or so, I've been very tempted to do that, to cut everybody off and just go on an island somewhere. But as I'm convinced, I can't be a Christian by myself. I can't love effectively if I'm in a room by myself. It requires other human beings. I mean, what am I loving if I'm in a room by myself? Think about that. What am I loving? But if I'm engaging with human beings, I think I have what I need to practice and to cultivate unconditional love. Not that I'm going to do this perfectly, but the effort is still worth it. Just some thoughts. Let me know what you think. Thank you for watching.